We are following breaking news from Minnesota after 2 students were shot outside a school. Police continue their search for suspects.
Also, brand new data shows the devastating effect COVID has had on first responders in Wisconsin. Naomi Coles explains.
And some new hope for parents after Pfizer applies for COVID vaccine approval for children under the age of 5. You're watching News 3 now at 5. And we are continuing with that breaking news in Minnesota after 2 students were shot at a school in Richfield.
One of the students died and the other is in critical condition. Richfield police say the incident happened just after noon outside of South Education Center. Several schools in the area went under lockdown as a precautionary measure. Investigators say the suspects fled the scene. The school has about 200 students and offers special education programs and an alternative high school with students as young as pre-kindergarten.
There really are no words to describe the bravery exhibited by our staff and local authorities today. No one should ever have to respond to a tragedy like this, and we commit to supporting all of our school community as we try to move through and navigate this tragedy.
Right now, it's unclear what led to the shooting. Police are still searching for the suspects. And in the wake of a deadly shooting outside Beloit Memorial High School over the weekend, the Beloit School District has just announced a number of safety-related changes to all winter and spring sporting events. The shooting outside the high school Saturday night left a 19-year-old former student dead. Beginning tonight, there will be increased officer presence at events, and security will periodically check parking lots. The district also said event tickets will no longer be sold at the door. Instead, each student athlete from Beloit and visiting teams will get 3 tickets for their event.
At least 11 firefighters and EMS staff have died of COVID-19 in Wisconsin since the pandemic began.
A number previously unreported. It underscores how firefighters have been hit hardest by COVID among Wisconsin's first responders. Naomi Coles is here to explain. Naomi?
To put this in perspective, COVID-19 was the only cause for line-of-duty deaths among firefighters in Wisconsin during 2020 and 2021. 3 died in 2020, but it got worse the following year. The State Firefighters Association shared their data on line-of-duty deaths with me. 6 firefighters and EMS died of COVID last year, and now, just 1 month into 2022, 2 more firefighters have died of COVID.
It's disheartening. As much as we've tried to protect ourselves and continue to try to protect ourselves, there is exposure, and the breakthrough infections are causing difficulties, and it's not only just the firefighters; it's all their families also.
The impact among firefighters appears far higher than even police. COVID is the leading cause of on-duty deaths for police officers, both state and nationwide. But in Wisconsin, the official number of COVID deaths among police officers is 4. Now, while some departments have implemented vaccine or testing requirements, many others have not. More on that at 6 o'clock.
All right, Naomi, thank you. A game changer for the health of young children could be just around the corner.
Pfizer has officially applied for emergency authorization for a 2-dose COVID vaccine for children under 5. Laura Podesta has the details.
Soren Good was just 8 months old when he received his first Pfizer vaccine last May. His big brother Andel was also vaccinated, both part of Pfizer's clinical study at Stanford University.
It was a 4-year-old had a reaction, a little bit of a sore arm for a day, and that was the only symptom he had. Soren didn't have any reaction.
Their mother, Zena Good, is also an immunologist and said taking part in the trial was a no-brainer.
This disease can be quite serious. This vaccine is very safe, and now there is evidence that it really protects you.
According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, the recent Omicron surge led to the highest number of COVID-19 cases among children since the pandemic began, more than 3.5 million cases last month alone. Over the last 2 years, there have been more than 11.4 million cases among children and teens. Dr. Yvonne Maldonado leads the research at Stanford University School of Medicine.
If you look at hospitalizations for COVID, we are seeing that the under 5s tend to have the highest hospitalization rates.
Pfizer's 2-dose regimen for young children could become available within days. The drug maker found it safe and produced an immune response, but it's still testing a 3-dose regimen.
It will likely be done pretty soon, meaning maybe March or April.
Good says she's relieved both of her children are fully immunized.
I'm just very, very grateful and feel very fortunate that my kids had a chance to receive this vaccine.
And she says she's grateful to the scientists who made the child vaccine happen. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Now, if the FDA agrees, Pfizer shots containing just 1/10 of the adult dose would be given to children as young as 6 months. The COVID pandemic continues to impact the restaurant industry, and now the National Restaurant Association says it doesn't believe the industry will return to what it was before the pandemic. But experts say this year is the start of a new normal thanks to emerging technology and changes in dining preferences. The group forecasts $898 billion in sales this year. That's up from $864 billion in 2019.
As we move closer to the start of the Olympics, China is determined to have a COVID-free event, but not everything is going according to plan here. Organizers reported at least 24 new cases overnight, including a U.S. bobsledder who says she tested positive inside Beijing's Olympic bubble. Anyone who tests positive is ordered to isolate until they are deemed safe to be around other people.
As there are fewer new people coming into the system, the positivity rate will probably go down. But what we need to do is make sure we keep an eye on that on a daily, twice daily basis.
Despite recent positive tests, the U.S. Olympic team does boast a 100% vaccination rate. That is a far cry from Tokyo in 2020. Curling and luge competitions, by the way, begin tomorrow.
Temperatures rose to the 40s today in southern Wisconsin, but it's back to the cold tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has the details. Gary?
The cold air is already starting to push across southern Wisconsin, although still, because it was so mild today, it doesn't feel too bad. Visible cloud track shows some mid and high level clouds coming in from the west. We're on the northern edges of a major winter storm that'll pass to our south, and it's possible there could be a couple of flurries, mainly south of Madison, tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night. Low temperatures this morning were very mild. We started out at 30 at midnight, and temperatures rose to a high of 43 in Madison, although our western viewers saw temperatures in the upper 30s because the cold front came through there a little bit earlier. Now you can see we've dropped from 40 to 34 in Madison. It's already down to 20 degrees in La Crosse. Wind chills right now are in the 20s in Madison, but down to the single digits out toward the La Crosse area. By tomorrow morning, we'll be down to around 10 with wind chills around 0. Tomorrow, cloudy skies, again, a couple of flurries south of Madison. High temperature only at 15. We'll take a look more at that winter storm that'll pass to our south and our prospects for any storms in the future in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. The Wisconsin celebration for the start of Black History Month kicked off at the state capitol today. Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes and Governor Tony Evers joined members of the Wisconsin Legislative Black Caucus in the rotunda for the ceremony. Governor Evers said this year's theme is Black health and wellness, saying it was especially important when it comes to COVID. He also noted that Vel Phillips will be the first Black woman and the first person of color to have a statue at the Capitol.
This moment does not call for more of the same. It calls for an agenda that doesn't settle for a return to what we knew was normal, but we need to call for us all to do the work to pave the way for the just, inclusive, and equitable future that we all need and deserve. Thank you so much.
This month, the Legislative Black Caucus is hosting events geared toward entrepreneurship, education, mental health, and criminal justice.
The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation met with Madison college leaders today to discuss the Workforce Innovation Grant the school recently received. Those funds will allow the college to develop new training programs in childcare, advanced manufacturing, healthcare, and information technology. That grant worth $2.9 million. Governor Evers announced the grant distributions in December as part of a larger project to bring more solutions to the state's workforce challenges.
A plan to improve the Veterans Park in Fitchburg got a big boost this week thanks to an anonymous donor. The city's Veterans Committee wants to improve the park with additional memorials, pathways, and a marble bench. They sent letters to 700 businesses asking for donations, and committee chair Tom Clowder was surprised when he opened the mail and found a check for $11,000. He says they hope to expand the park to include as many veterans as they can find.
We want people in the community that want their veteran, their husband, their wife, their son, their daughter, anybody to be remembered, contact us. Certainly contact us so we can help out with that in that regard.
Clowder says their fundraising will continue throughout the year. They hope to start the improvements soon.
The baseball program for children with cognitive and physical disabilities is also looking for funds. The Miracle League of Dane County provided playing opportunities for 96 kids last year in its inaugural season. We profiled it, and now they hope to increase that to 120 this summer for an 8-week session. Eventually, they hope to provide opportunities for 200 children. Now, the program is limited now because they don't have lights that would extend the times for playing, and they've raised $100 of the $125,000 they need. The executive director says it is a program that is so important for kids and their families.
The kids that played experienced joy, a lot of fun, built their confidence, felt normal, felt accepted, and it was an incredible blessing to the parents as well.
And if you'd like to help out, go to DaneCountyMiracleLeague.org.
For the second day in a row, students at historically black colleges and universities woke up to bomb threats. Schools were temporarily put on lockdown until the all clear was given. Bomb-sniffing dogs patrolled some campuses this morning, and the FBI says it's working with its partners to address any potential threats.
Just thinking, wow, this is crazy, like on the first day of Black History Month.
It's a very evil act. We are reminded, though, that Howard University is an exceptionally resilient community.
The Congressional Bipartisan HBCU Caucus is calling for a thorough criminal investigation.
It is now official. Tom Brady calling it a career, making that announcement in a lengthy 8-page statement on social media. Though he never used the word retirement, he did say, quote, "I have loved my career, and now it is time to focus my time and energy on other things that require my attention." News leaked of his retirement over the weekend. Even last night in his podcast, he said he wasn't ready yet to announce it. Brady played 22 years. He won 7 Super Bowls, and he was the youngest and oldest quarterback to do so. More than 53,000 Teslas are being recalled because the company's full self-driving beta software is allowing those vehicles to roll through stops. Now, this applies to 2016 to 2022 Model S and Model X vehicles, along with 2017 to 2022 Model Y crossovers. Tesla will basically handle this recall by doing a free over-the-air software update, meaning you don't need to take it anywhere. Tesla says as of January 27th, it was unaware of any crashes, injuries, or fatalities connected to the recall. Coming up, Russian President Vladimir Putin speaking out about tensions with Ukraine.
What he says Western nations don't understand about the conflict. And later, how 2 gifted Wisconsin students are putting their mental skills to the challenge. At 6, how their teacher is teaching them about adversity.
And Tuesday trading on Wall Street, positive numbers again. The Dow up 273 points, the NASDAQ tech's on 106. S&P jumps 31. We'll be right back.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
How much money have you wasted trying to find the right shade of foundation to match your skin tone? You end up with so many unused bottles, yet you can't bear to throw them out. Now, there's Color Beauty Self-Adjusting Foundation, which means you'll never search for the perfect shade again.
It's really difficult for me to find a good tone foundation. I usually purchase about 3 or 4 and sometimes mix them. Color Beauty is a game changer in finding the right foundation. You put it on your skin and it transforms into your own skin tone.
The Color Beauty foundation is so simple to put on. My skin looks great and it just looks awesome.
The key to the innovative Color Beauty formula is tiny color beads that release and blend to perfectly match your skin tone as you apply it. The foundation is white when it comes out of the bottle, but when I begin to apply it, it adjusts to blend perfectly with the color of my skin.
My biggest problem area is my cheeks right here. Color Beauty feels really light on my skin and I can can tell that it is pretty full coverage, so it looks like I don't have too much foundation on, but it is covering all my acne scars like I was saying before. I actually really love it. It's weightless and it's full coverage, and also it literally just matches my skin as soon as I put it on. It's no work. I've never experienced a foundation like this.
Color Beauty only comes in 2 colors, light and medium. If you have fair skin or you burn easily, go with the light. If you have darker skin, go with the medium. Plus, with an SPF of 50, they're getting the highest level of sun protection in a lightweight formula. And best of all is Color Beauty's exclusive special. Order this Valentine's Day and get 40% off. That means you'll get the color adjusting foundation, the skin smoothing primer, and the fan favorite lash enhancer for thicker, longer looking lashes at 40% off. Plus, get free shipping. Visit color40.com or call the number on your screen.
COVID is the leading cause of death nationally for men and women working in the line of duty. At 6, we take a look at how many we've lost statewide.
And celebrating Black History Month, we hear from community and state leaders tonight at 6.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team advocates for you, asking the right questions.
Yeah. You hope to make that right.
And getting results.
They sent a water heater the next day after you made the call.
Call for Action, only on News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
We're hearing from Russian President Vladimir Putin for the first time in over a month about the rising tension with Ukraine. Putin claims the West is ignoring his country's security concerns. Skylar Henry has the latest.
Russian President Vladimir Putin says he hopes dialogue will continue, even as 100,000 of his troops threaten Ukraine. Putin accused the West of ignoring the Kremlin's security demands, including a guarantee that NATO won't expand to Ukraine or deploy weapons near the Russian border.
There is no trade space, none, when it comes to those issues.
Ukraine is engaging in high-level diplomacy with European allies, welcoming British Prime Minister Boris Johnson to Kyiv.
A further Russian invasion of Ukraine would be a political disaster, a humanitarian disaster. In my view, it would also be, for Russia, for the world, a military disaster.
A delegation from the European Parliament also pledged its support, saying Ukraine has one thing Russia does not.
One should not be mistaken. Ukraine has many friends, whereas Russia chose to be isolated.
Officials here in Washington say any talks with Russia need to happen in the context of de-escalation, but the U.S. says it's ready either way. For many in Ukraine, it already feels like war.
War is every day difficult. You know, when you don't have water, when you don't have electricity, it's very, very bad.
You're already living with war.
Yes.
CBS News has learned President Biden is prepared to announce a new U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Bridget Brink. Congress is also working on a bipartisan bill to put new sanctions on Russia. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
The Pentagon says Putin has also built up logistics over the past weeks, and they believe he has enough capability to make a move now if he chooses to.
Whoopi Goldberg causing a stir for comments she made about the Holocaust on yesterday's episode of The View. It started with a panel discussion about a Tennessee school district banning the graphic novel Mouse, which deals with the Holocaust. And Goldberg claimed the Holocaust was not about race and was, quote, white people doing it to white people. Goldberg apologized for her comments after the show aired. It's that time of the year again. Nominations now open for Best of Madison 2022. You can nominate and vote for your favorite local businesses until the end of the month. Any geographically local person, place, or thing to do can be nominated in a wide variety of categories. You can vote once per day. To vote or make your nominations, look for the link at our homepage, channel3000.com. Round 2 of voting starts in April. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate weather now. Here is Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary.
It was a pleasant day today across most of southern Wisconsin. Temperatures temperatures were in the upper 30s and lower 40s. But 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Much colder weather arrives for tonight and sticks around for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. For the most part, it'll be dry. There's a possibility for a couple of flurries south of Madison tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night. But most of us will be dry for that period. And then from pretty much from Thursday all the way through next Thursday morning, we're also looking at dry weather. So very quiet weather around here, even with an active storm track just to our south. And then we'll see a little milder weather as we head into next week with temperatures back into the 30s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On Doppler track, you can see maybe a couple of flurries sneaking into far southern Wisconsin, but this is the northern edge of a very powerful winter storm, which is developing to the south. Right now, precipitation in the form of rain through much of Chicago, but notice it changes over to snow over northwestern Illinois. And this is the whole storm just starting to come together. Notice that rain-snow line starting to shift southward as the moisture works its way northward. And this is going to be a pretty significant winter storm. Future track snowfall through noon Friday showing a wide swath of 12 to maybe as much as 16 to 18 inches from the central portion of Missouri through central Illinois, northern Indiana, into the Detroit area, and then eventually into Ontario and Canada. Winter storm warnings are now in effect from southeastern Colorado all the way up into southern Michigan and northwestern Ohio. Winter storm watches east of there. Winter weather advisories on the northern fringe, but there's going to be a very sharp cutoff in that snow between maybe as much as 6 to 10 inches in the southern portion of the Chicago area and maybe only an inch or two in the northern portion of the Chicago area. And of course, most of southern Wisconsin will miss out on any accumulating snow. Temperatures are starting to fall here. They're still pretty mild to our south and to our east, but notice to our north and west, those temperatures dropping. That's more like the weather that we're going to see over the next couple of days. Compared to 24 hours ago, notice the big drop in temperatures in the order of 25 to 30 degrees through the Dakotas and Nebraska, and that cold air is heading in our direction. The jet stream right in between, and that will develop that storm system, and it'll follow right along the jet stream, which fortunately for us will keep the heaviest snow well to our south. Here's the cold front that came through, the wind shift to the northwest. Low pressure now starting to develop in the central portion of Oklahoma, and this is what we call a panhandle hook type storm, where it develops in the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas and then heads northeastward, but just far enough south to spare southern Wisconsin. Right now, lots of clouds around here. Temperatures, they'll range from 43 in Milwaukee ahead of the front or just behind the front to 34 in Madison, 20 in La Crosse, and already down into the teens in the Twin Cities area. And notice the wind chills across Minnesota dropping now to below 0. Our forecast for tomorrow calls for a slightly different day. Mostly cloudy skies. Instead of a high in the 40s, 15 is all we'll do. Just a chance for a couple of flurries south of Madison, and 13 for a high on Thursday and 19 on Friday. Morning lows in the single digits above and below 0 could drop wind chills to 15 to 20 below 0 even into early Saturday morning. Then temperatures rebound into the 20s into early next week and in the 30s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Next chance of flurries probably late Thursday into Friday of next week. As we check out first warn traffic, the view of the Beltline at Broadway, West Broadway Street and Southtown Drive. Traffic a little bit slower on the eastbound Beltline, seeing a few delays there, but not overly so. Also a little delay now developing on the westbound Beltline around Fish Hatchery Road. Travel times just slightly elevated on the Beltline in either direction between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990, the US 12 from Middleton to Sauk City, and downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151. Pretty much normal travel times. That's your News 3 Now for Sworn Traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. Up next at 5, a record number of Americans are quitting their jobs in hopes of finding something better. Coming up, a closer look at the industries that are in great need of employees.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about Everyday Verzenio.
Your heart is at the heart of everything you do. And if you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. It's the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. Entresto is proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. Entrust your heart to Entresto.
Supply chain backlogs, inflation, agitation.
Here's an idea. If we make things here in America, supply chain issues won't be a thing anymore. That's exactly how we built the Bucks Arena, by having 80% of the materials come from Wisconsin. We did the same by paying higher wages. That's how you know, as your senator, I'll get things done. Raising people's wages, make things in America, finally stand up to China. I'm Alex Lazary, and I approve this message because it's time to put more money in the pockets of working people.
Dinosaur Adventure roars into Madison. One weekend only. Alliant Energy Center. With life-size dinosaurs and massive family fun. Experience the thrill of the prehistoric age. Featuring the ferocious T-Rex, Triceratops, Velociraptor, and more. Go on a realistic fossil dig. Take a ride on your favorite dinosaur. Bounce around in the prehistoric playground. And a baby dinosaur meet and greet. Take an amazing dinosaur adventure. This weekend only. Alliant Energy Center. Tickets at dinosauradventure.com.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. The Great Resignation continues across the U.S.
Millions of Americans are quitting their jobs to look for something better. Michael George explains.
Eliza Benson worked as a health aide for many years, but when her father died during the pandemic, she made some big changes. Benson left her job, moved with her kids from a city apartment into her mother's suburban home, and went back to school.
My mom needed companionship. I figured, why not take advantage of the opportunity and better ourselves, move the kids to a better environment.
4.3 million people quit jobs in December, down slightly from November's record high of 4.5 million. Workers are leaving positions at restaurants and in manufacturing.
People are clearly confident that they can get other jobs.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says that's because the latest report shows employers are looking to fill 10.9 million job openings. Higher pay, better benefits, are those the ways we're going to fill those jobs?
You know, it's like the old law of supply and demand. I need workers. You know how I get workers? I offer them a reason to come.
Education is one of many industries that need workers, and not just teachers. One Arkansas school district has a shortage in the cafeteria.
We have about 150 employees in our student nutrition department. There was one point last week where we were down about 42.
Benson quit her job to get a master's degree and plans to become a social worker.
I think what attracts me to it is just the ability to be there for somebody.
A job that allows her to support others and her family at the same time. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
And stay with us for a final check of your firstborn forecast in just a moment.
Give your home a fresh look with the beauty and durability of wall and floor tile from Mohawk. Clean Protect porcelain tile is waterproof and scratch and stain resistant to stand up to life's messes. The Microban technology offers over 99% antimicrobial product protection, fighting against stain and odor-causing bacteria for the life of the tile. Save big money with Mohawk Clean Protect, exclusively at Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Is price inflation costing you way more now for food, shelter, and basic expenses? Is paying credit cards and high debt now getting harder? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Call Geraci Law to see about Chapter 7 or 13 to eliminate or consolidate as low as $275 a month. On your phone, from your home, or old school in person. $0 down to start. Hit the debt-free button. Click or call now.
Let's get back to Gary. Final check of the forecast.
Temperatures are starting to turn colder. There could be a couple of flurries, mainly south of Madison. We're still fairly mild here in Madison at 34. Janesville's at 37. But notice the big drop-off in temperatures to the north and west, already down to 19 in Viroqua. Wind chills are in the single digits out toward La Crosse. So expect those temperatures and wind chills to continue to drop tonight.
We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.